Well, part two. Here we are, walking around Murcia, Negros Occidental. Like I said, it's not very busy this morning. Not very busy at all. So, just strolling around, making a few videos. I actually planned to do a few shorts, but when it turned out, I think I only did one short video. So that's what I'm doing now, guys. I'm just watching life go by, real life here in the Philippines. And strangely enough, I were actually on a different app, and I saw this girl and she was chatting. She were on this app, and what she said and why she was on there, somebody must have made a bad comment. And what they said is the Philippines is a third world, and they must have upset her, and they must have said quite a lot of bad things, and she probably took it wrong. So, she actually put some videos up, the real Philippines. But this is the real Philippines. Hello, good morning. So this is the real Philippines. And I used to come here actually in the morning, about 18 months ago. And I used to have a nice cup of coffee here in the morning. Why, Joveline did a little bit of shopping. That were 18 months ago. So it's quite a long time back. And upstairs there used to be a really good massage place, but I never got a chance to have one. And these ladies have already voted, and it's hello, good morning, ladies. So I never ever got a chance to get a massage, and it was quite. In fact, that was the first time I actually came to the Philippines. Second time, sorry. First time I came to Murcia, but it's strange how 1 minute you've got a massage place there, and then the next minute it's gone. So, and there is in the food court a really good massage place, and it's blind massage, and I've heard a few people say it's quite good. But it's not expensive, but if you haven't got the budget, I'm afraid you're not going to get no massage. So it's simple as that, really. So like I said, a lot of the shops are closed. Anyway, as I was chatting earlier on, this girl was quite upset, but somebody had actually called the Philippines a third world country and said quite a lot of bad things, about the Philippines. Well, so she actually put all these videos up, and I watched some of the videos, just short videos, and I thought, well, that's not the real Philippines. She actually showed, Ferraris, sports cars, Lamborghinis, Lambos, Range Rovers, and I thought, well, actually, that's probably Makati area, round about Manila area, where all the millionaires, billionaires, such as all the famous boxers, Manny Pacquiao, that's probably where these guys live, and yet, it is actually quite a very, very rich place round about, Manila City. But the real Philippines is not, the real Philippines is quite poor. And, you cannot really say it's a third world. Because if you come here to Murcia, yeah, if you watch my videos, you can actually live very, very poorly here. Poor as in poor, no money, eat once or twice a day, right? So, but to call it a third world, I am actually sure some of the Philippines is a third world, but I can actually say Negros Occidental is not a third world island. I call it an island. The Philippines has many islands and it's a big country, so to speak. Even though a lot of people think it's a very small country. And, this is chatting to the Filipino people. Oh, it's a very small country. But really, it's not that small. It's got lots of fairly big islands. So, so is the Philippines a third world? Well, not really, no. But yes, there is poverty, and I mean, there's a lot of poverty. But here, here on Negros, here in Murcia, yeah, there's quite a few hard-working, very poor people, but they can actually eat once or twice a day, and some of them eat 3 times a day. And don't get me very wrong, Murcia has a lot of very rich people, and I mean a lot of rich people. Landowners, sugar barons. There's a lot of very rich people here in Murcia. But yeah, you always get a good few poor people. But that's world over. England's the same, guys. Back in the UK, we've got very poor people. So it's not just the Philippines, but a third world. Now, make a comment. Do you think the Philippines is a third world country? Me personally, I would say, right, you go to Manila, you go to Makati and round about that area, and there's millionaires all over the place. In fact, some of it doesn't even look like the Philippines, but that's just a small area full of millionaires, full of celebrities, stars, world champion boxers, popular people. That's where they live. But most people, in Manila, they've got low wages, they're working every hour God sends, and it can be a very hard life. Is that a third world? Well, I'll let you decide. So third world country. Like I said, guys, it is. If you actually do go to Manila, you see Manila from a distance. If you're coming through if you're coming through Cavite, and you're heading towards, Passi City, you can see all the big skyscrapers, you can see all the wealth, you can see all the money, big money, but that's just a little bit of it, okay? On the outskirts, it is very poor. And yeah, I would say it's third world. Definitely third world. Very poor. But is the Philippines poor? Some of it's very poor, yeah. Of course, it's very poor. And people have a very bad life. But a lot of the Philippines, it's up and coming, it's quite rich. It's quite rich people. Like I said, if you look at the market here, people come to the market, they can buy a fish to eat for dinner. They can buy a few vegetables, they'll make the money spin. They're not on an high wage, they're on a low wage and they're working long hours. But, that's same with Manila, and that's why a lot of these big companies are in Manila for cheap labour and highly skilled Filipino people. Now, as you know, the Philippines is, like I said, it's up and coming. There's a lot of new roads everywhere. So, onto the chopping board and chop. And, like I said, we're in the meat market, and I like to walk through the fish market and I like to walk through the meat market. I just like to see the meat getting chopped up. But so that's my view on it. Now, the first time I actually came to the Philippines, third time, he never planned it. Of course he did. Right. So, first time I actually came to the Philippines, I were in Passi City for a couple of days, and my plan was to actually head straight to Murcia, where I were actually, going to meet Joveline, and it would have been nice to meet quite a good few people, actually. Just don't come to the Philippines and meet one person, go around the different islands, lots of friendly people. So, that was my plan. So, like I said to you guys, A lot of hard working people here. It's just like any other country, so to speak. Different values, and yes, you know, there is a big difference in the way people think. Very, very much more relaxed, definitely more relaxed here in the Philippines. But don't forget, very, very hard. It can be a very tough, hard life if you're in the province and you're not earning any money. But when I actually eat Manila, and when I eat Passy, hey, absolute, I want this. I could do with mine doing. One day, I'm sure. I don't know if I'll get them done or not, but it would be nice. So whether I manage to get me feet done or not, I don't know. I were in Manila, and I were in Passy City, and I'll chat about it in another video. For you new guys that's just actually joined the channel, thanks for the new subscribers. Gloria, thank you very much. Thanks very much, Gloria. Thanks very much, Lee. I hope all you guys are enjoying it. Now, I also know, I actually did hear about Runcorn, and it sounds like it's getting a bad deal, so I hope everybody in Manchester and around that area, I hope you're doing well and things get better, guys. I do know the problems in the UK, England, and actually us in the UK, England, we're having big problems and it's overrun. But if you're interested to know about my country, you will have to just go and watch the videos, guys. Back to the Philippines. So, good morning there, miss. So, yeah, the Ten Commandments, you've got it. So, whether you obey by them or not it's up to you, but don't forget, God knows all. So when I were actually in Manila, I can remember walking over the flyover. I actually were in Passy City, and to cut a big long short story short, I went over the flyover one day to get a SIM card for my phone. So, and as I walked I can remember walking over the flyover, over the main, over the main road, and I was looking for a SIM card, a shop to sell me a SIM card, and I can remember walking over there were a police officer chatting to someone, and at the side there were a lady, and she was asleep. I not go too much into it. She was asleep, and she was laid on the steps, and she'd got a baby, and my God, it was red, red hot. Very, very humid, really crazy weather. And I thought, my God, and that's what you'll find in Manila. You'll find a lot of that, to be honest, and a lot more which I won't go into on this video. But you've got me drift. Is the Philippines a third world country? Well, Murcia, Negros Occidental, Bacolod, and around on Negros Island, it's not a third world country. I know it's an island, and it's just not a third world country. It's not a third world island. But yeah, as I've said, I do believe in a lot of the places in Manila. Definitely third world, especially the slums. Right. But very advanced. Manila is very advanced, highly educated. So that were the fire engine girls and guys. Good morning, guys. So, not a lot of people actually around in the plaza. Not a lot of people at all around. And yeah, Joveline's off voting. But like I said in the previous video, she's in and out of there very fast. And right, we actually, as I actually walked around and did a few videos, and then actually I went back to Joveline's mama's. So me and Joveline went to her mama's, and we stayed there about 20 minutes, and it was crazy, crazy hot. It was just too hot. and it's like that all the time. It's very, very, very hot. So, we thought, well, let's go home. It's just too hot here. And, we set off and we headed down to Concilian, and it threw it down with rain, and it lasted for about quarter of a mile. And we got through the rain, and he absolutely sailed it down. I thought, wow, we've got through the rain. When we got near to our place, 2 mile away from our place, about 3 kilometres away, it stopped, the rain stopped. And you could see behind us it was still chucking it down. And then we got back to the house, and it actually threw it down with rain torrential, which was absolutely lovely. So we got back in time and we didn't get wet through. These are the UV girls, and the UV, it's a shop further over. We pass it quite a few times in the video, and it's Chinese owned. And when I actually go to UV with Jovelin, I must be in there half an hour queuing, and it's really bad for queues. Really bad. You stood there waiting forever, and you think, my God, there's always a queue in UV. So it's just one of them things. It's a queuey place. So yeah, like I said, can be a very tough life in Manila. And it's not just the slums, it's around. And I chatted to someone about 3 months ago, and he was visiting here in good morning. So he were actually visiting. I'm chatting to that girl there, and she's smoking. And I thought, wow, that's a real pity, miss. Smoking, very, very bad for your health. Stop it, don't do it, save your money, you'll need it to have a better future. So, chatting to this guy, and quite a religious guy, I'll go as far as saying that. And I got talking to him about, Cavite, and the things that go on in Cavite. Really? And this guy, like shunned it off. This guy must have known what goes off in Cavite, but it can be really strange, if you meet a person what comes from Manila, and they come from some of the hard places in Manila, some of the slums, near the slums, they'll actually tell you, yeah, you're right, sir, it's a very hard, tough place. Good morning, it's the UV girls. So, they'll actually tell you, yeah, it's a very tough place, sir. It's very hard, jobs, there's no work, and they'll chat to you about it, real life. But when you find out somebody that actually does live in Cavite, a good few of the people that's got money who I have chatted to, I have met before, oh no, whereabouts is this? Cavite. And I know for a fact, they just don't like to admit, but there's quite a lot of robbings and murders and killings and drug dealings. And if you walk down the street at night, they think you're a police officer, bang, you're dead, because they think you're a spy. There's a lot of that goes off, but a lot of these people like shun it off. But if you actually talk to somebody that lives around the slums, in the slums, they'll actually tell you some of the gory details. But like I said, can be a very dangerous place. But Cavite is not all slums. There is some really nice places in Cavite, and obviously that's where probably a lot of you people live that make the comments, and send me the pictures, and it's really looking very, very nice. It's new apartments and the swimming pools. Though, well, that's probably a nice place in Cavite. But believe you me, I've been in the slums of Cavite. It's not very nice. I've been in one or two of the rundown, one to be honest, one of the rundown hotels. Wow. Not very nice at all, and Caviti actually drove me damn crazy. I actually came back from Tagaytay, love Tagaytay, with the ex-girlfriend. And when I came back from Tagaytay, I went into this hotel in Melino, across from Jollibee's, and what happened? Oh, I couldn't sleep. And I was going crazy. So I went downstairs and I said, have you got another room? And they gave me a key for another room. And then we got this other room, this second room. And, I tried to sleep, it was red hot, and I could hear baby, all traffic, fumes, smell, noise were crazy, and then I thought I cannot sleep here. Air conditioning were very, very loud. I went back downstairs, which were 2 stories down, back down in lift. I said, I don't like that room. This is not normally me, guys. Good morning, ladies. This is not normally me, guys. And then I went back downstairs, third time. Right, we'll chat about that in another video. So I hope you're enjoying your video. I hope you're enjoying your day. I hope you enjoy the videos. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Please help support in the way of a dollar. So, very much appreciated. And here we are in Murcia, Negros Occidental. Well, it's Wednesday tomorrow, and we're back in Murcia tomorrow. Do a little bit of shopping, a little food shop. So God bless, guys. Thanks a lot for the support. And like I said, hope things are going fine there back in England. Enjoy your days. And, thanks for the message. Thanks for the support. Take care, guys. God bless. Here in Murcia, Negros Occidental. Well, I'm actually sure I actually mentioned it in another video, guys. Like I said, Murcia's changing. The white building there, they're going to build a new building down on the new road, and there's going to be no motorbikes, taxis, no tricycle motorbikes, taxis in Murcia. What's going to happen is they're actually using e-bikes, so it's going to be e-bikes in Murcia only, no pollution, no noise, and a lot nicer and a lot better, really nice environment. So that's what's happening in Murcia. Quite a new things coming up, and I'm sure a few people might not like it, but that's the way Murcia's going. Have a great day, take care everyone.